Hey guys, this is Rise, and I'm here with Frank the Tank. That's right, Frank himself from SC2GG and from other places, I'm sure, but that's where I know him from. He was actually a contestant, or trying to be a contestant, on Commentator Idol way back when, I believe. Unfortunately, he didn't make it, but there was an uproar about him not making it. So you know what? I can't help but have to do a commentary with him. And what better to do than an hour and 15-minute game between TheRock and Chalrenge? Of all players, TheRock, the guy that I think I might hate the most in life, not just in StarCraft, but outside of StarCraft. If I saw him in real life, I might actually spit on him. I'm not entirely sure. Chalrenge, on the other hand, a very exciting player, very creative, known for doing things that are wacky. Moltrop's favorite, I'd say, or one of his favorites to watch. Either way, this is going to be an exciting game, and certainly a long one at the very least. And we got a PvP match for those of you who don't know who these players are. And before I pass it off, just let me introduce TheRock himself in the top left position. I don't know what color that was, maybe teal. And Chalrenge, the red toss, at the bottom left position. So what do you think, Frank? What do you think of this matchup? Do you think TheRock can take down Chalrenge, one of the more creative players? Or are we going to see some, I don't know, crazy rockage?
Well, to be honest with you, well, to be frank, actually, I would have to go with TheRock on this. Yeah. I'd have to go with TheRock on this one. I know Chalrenge is very creative, but at the same time, TheRock, and no pun intended here, but he is more of a solid player. I mean, he's not the greatest, but I think he's more solid than Chalrenge is. But then again, with the length of this match, I have no idea. I mean, the crazy tactics coming out of Chalrenge's side could very well win him, especially, with in a match like this where it could very well just come down to some crazy storm or some storm drops or something like that. I just want to mention, though, the map is Paljin-do. I have no idea where that's coming from. This is coming from, like, the annals of time. I have no idea what this map is, but anyways, there is a little bit of history that I want to touch upon here, and there's the probes high-fiving, as always, but I want to touch on some history here. Apparently, why this match is being played is because Chalrenge said "bring it on, baby," which apparently isn't cool in the Korean culture. I know if I said "bring it on to baby" to some guy in the streets, he would just throw down with me, and it would be so badass that people would just gather around and cheer and throw all kinds of money at us and all kinds of crazy stuff. But apparently it's not cool over there, and TheRock took offense to it, and he said he's a spoiled little brat. So that's why this is being played, not for the Pro League, not for... Well, okay, actually, it is for the Pro League. But anyways, there's history behind it, and there's some gnashing teeth in the mix here. But as far as the matchup goes, I'm going to have to go with TheRock. Solid play, I think, is going to take this one down. But I do look forward to seeing Chalrenge.
Yeah, certainly he's going to do some interesting tactics, I would imagine. That harassing probe maybe going in for some sort of a manor pylon, which it looks like both players are trying to guard against. That is a very popular tactic to start things off in PvP. And, of course, what you're looking to do when you do that is to lay that manor pylon and then follow up with some probe kills, because you have the luxury of the other player trying to chase around or take down your pylon, or chase around your zealot, or chase around your probe. So it's very distracting and a good tactic if you can pull it off. Looks like we're not going to see a mana pylon, though, but we are going to see pylons to block expansions in the already secured expansions that are at the back end of their bases. So these players are going to have to each take out their the opposing pylons, preventing them from expanding any earlier than they can otherwise. And here we see there is the Zealot harass that we were talking about before, and it looks like he he got one probe so far, but he gets taken out and loses his probe before he can do any more damage. So it looks like that's going to be it from Chalrenge in terms of a Zealot harass, but both players making a few Zealots here. It looks like we got 3 for each, or maybe only 2 for Chalrenge at this point, since he just lost one. And it looks like he's considering to put down a expansion, actually. So that could be a little bit ballsy if he can pull it off. I mean, it's definitely it's not always popular to just expand like that, but with the ramp that he's going to be able to protect fairly easily, it's certainly a viable option.
Yeah, absolutely. And what actually happened here also is that they're both going for the same strategy, and they both put a pylon in the back of each other's bases, and a little bit of a push coming in here. No, just kind of working his way up the ramp there slowly. And another pylon going down. So just dancing back and forth there, both putting pylons in each other's natural in the back of their base. And there's TheRock. He's definitely
Ugly
one
mug.
ugly. Yeah, he is one ugly player. And a gas steal. I didn't notice that either, but the gas steal going down for TheRock. But what TheRock hasn't noticed is that there is a pylon in his natural in the back of his base, so he's not going to find that until he goes for that natural. But when he does, it's going to suck for him because I'm sure he would have used, or his forces will be out in the field being used by then. And Probe sneaking out there, the Zealot's just kind of staring at it as it goes by blankly. But yeah, so both of these players just trying to stop expansions, and it looks like TheRock is going to throw down another pylon as soon as this one goes down. He's just dancing around. Oh, and he has to leave. But, yeah, and I'm assuming the expansion's going to go up here for Chalrenge, and that's going to... and Citadel going up here, but that's going to make TheRock, want to put up his expansion or go for some kind of push here, and he is going, it looks like DTs anyways at this point with that early Citadel, but a Forge going up for Chalrenge, so he is definitely going to be prepared for this. And so right now it's just a lot of Zealots dancing around, and yeah, there is the Archives going up off of 2 gates, and the Nexus on the other side, but with a Forge. So with this one ramp to defend both bases, I think this is going to put Chalrenge in a bit of a lead here, unless TheRock can take his natural in the back. And now Chalrenge is pushing out, and he's got a lot more Zealots than TheRock does, and he's going to chase him back to his base, so he's going to have that position at the bottom of TheRock's ramp instead of the other way around. But that is a lot of Zealots, so maybe he'll just want to push in. We're going to have to see here.
Yeah, and it looks like he did scout the Templar Archive, so definitely Chalrenge is going to be completely ready for this. And again, like you said, he definitely has a lot more Zealots as well, so he may be able to do some damage, but it's going to be tough to break that ramp because just the way that ramps work in StarCraft, it's very difficult to use melee units to pass against other melee units. And actually, Chalrenge getting some units caught out against the wall over there, losing a couple of Zealots. It looks like he may lose 2 total, and he is now also prepared for DTs when they are coming out. And look at this, a proxy gateway from Chalrenge in the top left of the back of the base of TheRock, which is basically a bitch slap in the face right there. I mean, he's basically threw that up with him knowing that was going to happen. But oh, by the way, this is this map, I know you called it Pao Jin Du, which I think is, I guess, the Korean name. Better known as Nemesis to a lot of people. It was a map played a lot in the Pro League back in 07. And 4 bases, unbuildable middle, which isn't going to really do much here. At least I'm pretty sure it's unbuildable. And really, that's about all that is needed to know. I mean, they have some island-type expansions between each base, each major base. And other than that, that's really about it. You know, nothing too fancy about this this map. And look at this, another proxy pylon. I don't know what he's going to be doing over there, but Chalrenge is one sneaky bastard. And TheRock is actually getting a cross base expansion at the 2 o'clock position rather than wait around trying to re-kill those buildings over and over and over. Look at this. It's another proxy gateway that is certainly out of range of TheRock's buildings. TheRock definitely cannot see that. And if he's able to sneak in some sort of units, maybe DTs, and that's it right there. He is making a Templar Archive, so he's going to be able to sneak in some DTs. The question is, will TheRock be prepared? Will he have some cannons there or not? I don't know. It's going to be tough for TheRock to anticipate this. And there you can see the minimap. Back when they had to use a camera to see the minimap, you can see that he doesn't actually have vision of what Chalrenge is doing. So Chalrenge may actually be able to be successful. But no, there is a photon cannon going down. So it looks like this won't really work after all, but he may still be able to pull off some pretty good harass.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see TheRock here switching into High Templars, just getting an Archon there. So he's just looking to build up his forces. And that's really strange that he just decided to throw up a cannon in his mineral line when he had no idea. But it looks like actually he canceled it and put up another one in the exact same spot. And oh, it does get scouted out here. He's going to take out that probe, and he's going to go for the pylon. Hopefully he can take down that pylon before the DT comes out. DT. We're going to have to see if it comes out in time. And to be honest with you, I don't know if Chalrenge has scouted, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Chalrenge has scouted the right side base. So that's going to put TheRock in the lead on bases as soon as he takes his natural in the back here. And a DT just swinging around back here, getting one shot there. and he's going to go into the back and see if there's a base there, but no, there is no base there. So he's either going to suspect a base somewhere else on the map, which is the case, or he's going to be looking for a big push, which is not going to happen just yet. And TheRock actually taking the natural of the other base in the back there rather than his own. So that's a bit of an interesting play. And there are the first Dragoons. I have not seen Dragoons out for this entire match until just now, and I don't think TheRock has any Dragoons right now, but which is kind of strange for PvP. I'm not sure how this map plays out in PvP, but yeah, we got some DTs in the field. They're gonna go across positions, and they're just gonna scout out where the other bases are. And observers are now out for TheRock, so he's gonna see that DT, and Chalrenge has been doing a really good job of hiding units and trying to push up there. Not gonna happen. That's a DT for Chalrenge. I'm getting a little bit confused. Can't see the color of the capes of these guys running around. And yeah, as I was saying, Chalrenge has been doing a good job of hiding units, and the DT survives. TheRock just decides, you know what, I'm going to leave it there because I like to lose probes and I like to be harassed. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll come back later, apparently. But okay, so TheRock is just sitting a probe there also. I'm not sure what TheRock is thinking here. He's just kind of all over the place. Do I take down the gateway that's unpowered, or do I take down the DT that's going to be harassing me any minute now? Shuttle's out. It looks like Chalrenge is just going to take this island base. Yeah, Rise knows this map a bit better than I do, and thank you for correcting me. It is Nemesis, not Paljin Do. I kind of sounded like a bit of an idiot there, I would imagine. But anyways, Nemesis, there is an island base apparently, and Chalrenge is taking it, and he's scouting around. And yeah, here's the DT standing in the way of the Nexus. So TheRock is going to get completely denied here, or he's going to let it go up, and he's going to get a lot of probe kills, or the Chalrenge is going to get a lot of probe kills here. And just forces moving around the map here. Nothing much happening, but this shuttle is coming in for Chalrenge. I can only imagine that there's going to be a storm drop, and there's a ton of probes there, but he sees it, and he's pulling out. And storm, no storm. Okay, he's just flying around, and okay, DTs. Okay, so he's gonna have a DT in the back natural of both of those bases. So this is not looking good for TheRock right now, and I still have yet to see what's in that shuttle. The observer did not show us what's in that shuttle. I'm still gonna assume that there's got to be High Templars in there of some kind. I mean, he's got to do some kind of damage, and I don't think DTs at this point, especially that he knows observers are up. And now finally that DT, just leave it alone, leave it there. It's fine. But anyways, we're going to have to see what that shuttle's got in it. It's just kind of chilling at the top of the map, but we're going to have to see. I would imagine he's just hiding it there for future use.
Well, he does have High Templar out on the field, so there's a good possibility that they are in the shuttle. And not to make you feel better or anything, but I did happen to know what the map is. But I do get most of the maps wrong in the new Pro Leagues. I always call them whatever their Korean names are instead of what we know them as, like Neo Harmony. I always call that one the stupid Fresh New Breeze something, so whatever it's called.
Wind on
happens
the moon
to
and
everybody.
all.
Yeah, exactly. Some guy farted and they just said, you know, let's name it that. Oh, by the way, Chalrenge, man, completely looks like Steve Buscemi. I don't know if I think I heard Mole Trap say that a long time ago. I'm not entirely sure if he said it or maybe someone else, but I gotta agree. I keep seeing, you know, the shot of Chalrenge come up, and I keep going, my God, he really is the Korean Steve Buscemi, and it's hilarious. I hope one day that he gets a you know, acting bit in I don't know, a movie that had Steve Buscemi in it. I can't think of any off the top of my head, even though I know there's a million. You know, the one with the meteor or something like that. Anyway, looks like we are going to see an expansion finally going up in the back of TheRock's base. And he's also, he goes for a storm drop, and he gets a ton of probes there. Although Chalrenge is quick enough to move the second set of probes out quick enough. But no, he still gets another couple taken out, and the shuttle goes down for TheRock. So all of a sudden, cut into some action here. It looks like TheRock is trying to go for some guerrilla tactics over here, hit and runs. But in the meantime, look at this. We got 3 3 shuttles. This is not typical in a lot of PvPs these days. You don't see mass shuttle play, and right now 3 shuttles, that's a lot of shuttles to have in a game, unless they're hallucinated, which I don't think is the case. It looks like they may have just got scouted by that DT of TheRock. The question is, was he quick enough? Was he looking at the minimap as it blinked by? I don't know. And we still have DTs in the back of one of the rock space trying to do more damage. And look at this, Archons and Templar, Storm Drop. This is completely eye for an eye right here, if not better. He's got Archons in the mix. He's got a Goon in there. He's got a Zealot. He may even take down that Nexus before there could be reinforcements. He's completely focusing on it. There's a DT in there as well. And if there's no observers, that is going to go down from the DT alone. I don't see any observers in that grouping. That DT is not going to get attacked. Oh, and it goes down. So TheRock has just lost one of his expansions already. He is down 3-2 again. He was down 3-2 earlier, and now once again he is back at that level. And look at this. Chalrenge isn't going to let up at all. He's going to go right into the next expansion with that shuttle and maybe do another storm drop if his units have enough storm. The question is, do they have enough storm? I don't know. And no, another DT. Oh, DT to take the hits, and another storm. Great storm. The other Templar does not seem to have enough energy, but he still gets a lot of probes before that attack is squelched, and it looks like Chalrenge is pulling ahead at this point. I mean, he hasn't had too much economic damage himself other than one storm drop, and he's paid that back in full, and now he's certainly ahead, although TheRock does have the base at the top right secured enough to rebuild there, but certainly the cost of losing that can be bad. So TheRock definitely going to have to come back with some guerrilla tactics of his own or just superior play in order to win this match, because I'd say already he's pretty far behind.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is a huge force for TheRock too. I think though, if it comes down to superior play and I guess crazy tactics and crazy play, like I was saying earlier, well, like we were both saying earlier, it's gonna go to Chalrenge because I mean, look at the way he's playing right now. But oh, another storm drop coming in the back here. Whoa, that is a ton of probes just stacked on those minerals. I'm not sure why he had so many probes on that one side. Just happened to be all of the probes were on that side, and they just got stormed. But another huge drop coming in here. This is not eye for an eye. This is definitely eye for like both his legs and the half of his torso. This is huge comeback here. But not getting a lot off here. He did not get the storm off in time for those probes. They were running away. But he gets wow, refugee probes getting stormed in their new home. Wow, that is not a happy sight. But I'm not sure what happened to that force. Yeah, that force in the back there got taken out, but those shuttles get away. And those shuttles are coming into a big key part in this matchup here because they're just all over the place and they're doing so much damage. I have not seen that many probes killed in a PvP with storms in any game, and this is only 17 minutes in. I could only imagine what's yet to come. But but we have to look at the facts here, though, is that TheRock has map control here, but another drop coming in the back here. I cannot commentate on this, on the force here. Oh, Storm catching a little bit of a cannon, not doing any damage at all, but so epic fail there. Oh, but he picks it up and he runs away with one hit left. But TheRock has a giant force in the middle here, or at least he did. I'm not sure what happened to it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's all over the place. It's just kind of cut up. But so he's definitely got the bigger force, and Chalrenge definitely cannot engage. He's got piddly forces here and there, and you know he's defending with them, which is, I guess, a good call. But those storm drops are just getting off anyways. So I think he just needs to focus on getting a bigger army here, because TheRock just and just dropping off some more probes here. But TheRock just has a bigger army, and when it comes down to it, he's just not going to be able to engage, and TheRock's going to max out, and he's just going to be storming all these probes, and all that's going to do is free up Saib, essentially, unless he can defend with all his life. But I'm not sure that's going to happen against the maxed out Protoss army. But I got a phone call. Just 1 second.
Sure, I can take over from here. I wanted to say before, we saw that Templar, and I mean, man, oh, more storm drops on TheRock. TheRock has lost probably over 50 probes at this point. It looks like we're going to see another storm drop. No, that's all Archon. Wow, all Archon and a couple of Zealots. They're completely intent on just taking out that top left base, and they're doing a very good job of it at this point. And they may actually get that Nexus down if they can focus on it. It is being attacked heavily. And oh, TheRock's forces are getting hung up. up, and good storm over there on the Archons. It looks like he's going to micro him just in time. Is he going to be able to take out that Nexus? And he does take it out. It goes down. So TheRock loses another Nexus. That's like the third Nexus or second or third Nexus that he's lost at this point. And man, this is just Christmas in July for Chalrenge. I mean, there's nothing better than taking out Nexuses left and right and 50+ probes. Yet still, TheRock seems to have a plethora of probes over at the 2 o'clock position because, I mean, maybe he's just ferrying them back and forth so much that they're not getting as many as I think he is. But man, it just looks like a ton going down left and right. And Chalrenge trying to set up another expansion at the 9 o'clock position. Unsuccessful. This was scouted by TheRock. So TheRock is still doing his job. And oh man, there are a lot of probes there, but no, he only gets about 2 or 3. So again, TheRock now staring completely only at the mini map. Oh my God! A ton of another huge grouping of probes going down to Chalrenge's storm drops, and my God, I just want to see the probe kill count alone because this is ridiculous. This game is just like. How do you storm drop? Oh, let me show you over and over and over and over and over because right now that's what he's doing. He's just relentless in taking out these probes with these storm drops and now taking out his own Citadel so he can get out of his base. Of course, you don't need the Citadel once you get the upgrade, assuming you don't lose the Templar Archives. Then you do need a new one to build, a new Templar Archives, but it looks like he's not worried about that. And now we are going to see this big battle in the middle, an engagement of sorts, and it looks like Chalrenge does have a decent-sized army to get out, but now, oh man, this is going to be a large pincer from TheRock. You were right. He definitely does have a superior army. It wasn't getting whittled down enough by Chalrenge, only taking out all those probes. And TheRock has managed to have a very nice arc around the units. And oh man, he's totally got to back up. This is going to be really bad for Chalrenge if TheRock decides to push in. TheRock, though, does not because he's an idiot. And he decides to pull back at the last second. Although, no, now he realizes he's an idiot. And he's like, I'm going to go back and try to get in there. And then, no, he doesn't. So never mind. In the meantime, Chalrenge back out with these shuttles, looking to do some more storm drops in all likelihood. And I don't know if TheRock is going to be is prepared for this yet. I mean, I don't know if he can just handle the amount of probe rapage that we've been seeing here. And look at this. The one thing TheRock is doing very well, and you mentioned it before, is he has a very significant army. And although I would argue that Chalrenge could rebuild his army quicker because of his economy, it's not really the case because he can't take out enough of the large army to make that worthwhile. So basically, he's just going to keep losing smaller armies against the large army until it's too late for him. So definitely Chalrenge has got to get his head back into the macro game in terms of army macro, not just probe macro, which he's or probe killage macro, which he's certainly on top of. And in the meantime, TheRock just doing a very good job here of macroing himself. So really, Chalrenge, I got to say, he should be further ahead than he is. He's got to take another expansion. He's always almost mined out at his main and his main expansion. Very shortly, that's going to be mined out. So if he doesn't get something up at, say, the bottom right or the mid left, he is going to be in a lot of trouble. It looks like he is trying to set something up at the bottom right, but it's hard to say. And now we see the wacky first-person view to show the side count. It looks like they're actually a little bit more even than I thought. 128 to 135. So it's hard to say who's ahead actually based off that, but I can only imagine that TheRock had the higher side count at that point. And look at this, mass cannons to try to expand. And oh, that probe is going to get spotted by that DT. That DT is going to be able to take down that Nexus. There are no cannons in range to deal with that, and so he's going to have to cancel that Nexus. And really, he's got if he just had a small army, a small force to take that out with an observer, he'd be all set. But right now, he can't do anything. And now, wow, look at that, Chalrenge has rebuilt his army. He's got a ton of goons, and he's going to try to get out once again and be able to fight in the middle, because before he was pincered back in his base. A great flank by TheRock, and now it looks like Chalrenge is going to try to prevent that with a much heavier goon count than TheRock has, by the way. So we're basically seeing Archon Goon versus Goon Zealot, and Goon Zealot is going to get raped by this pretty much as storms go down all over those goons. Chalrenge not having enough storm of his own. His Templars, his units were just not clubbed together correctly or arced well enough, and now he's being forced back to his base again. So TheRock definitely with some map control here, and Chalrenge has got to watch out, and he loses a shuttle. So Chalrenge definitely in a little bit of a predicament over here, and he's got some work to do to really secure his a win in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Chalrenge has got like a couple pins here, and he just keeps poking TheRock and taking out his probes with these storms. But TheRock has just this Rock, and he's just gonna smash Chalrenge with it. So yeah, but the one thing though that could very well happen at this point, because the way this map is laid out, I mean, there's an island base, and nobody's going to be taking down island bases anytime soon. It's PvP. Island bases are not going to be taken down unless like massive drop comes in or some kind of recall. But arbiters are far away, seeing as there is not even a Stargate for either player up right now. And these forces in the back of TheRock's second natural over there to his main base over on the right side it's got a Zealot and a Dragoon in it, and it's just not going up because of those two units. But anyways, what I was going to say, the way this map is laid out, it actually would make for a very long game because there's these ramps and the natural is in the back, so you can't take out a natural and you can't get into the main because of this right here, what we're looking at. There's just cannons on the ramp, and funneling Protoss units into cannons, you wouldn't imagine it, but Protoss units actually melt to cannons. And yeah, like you were saying before, there's what it's coming down to right now is the Archon versus Zealots, pretty much. I mean, it's goon on goon, which cancel each other out, and it's just Archons versus Zealots, and that's just not a happy thing. And yeah, a shuttle just turning away there from this giant blue mass, this Dr. Manhattan full of Archons over there. But finally, the Chalrenge has gotten up that base. He's got an observer over there. Finally, taken out. I'm not sure if the DT went down, but there's cannons there in the way, so the DT cannot get to the Nexus. But a big drop, 4 DTs. Only a High Templar there and 2 DTs of his own, and he's going to try to take down this Nexus. It is not going to happen. There's 2 DTs chasing around there with an observer. No observer. Oh, and a pretty storm taking down those DTs. So a bit of a fail drop there. He escapes with his shuttle, and he's still got this massive ball of Archons in the middle of the field. So I'm sure he's not too unsatisfied with his position in the game right here. But, I was just about to say no player has taken the side bases, but now TheRock has taken the side base, but has not taken his island base, which would be a lot more secure than the left or right side base because they have ramps, and you could just walk into them rather than having to drop. But or so I saw. Anyways, yeah, there's ramps on the right side bases. But both these players are running out of minerals on their third bases. So like you were saying before, that that Nexus that Chalrenge just set up, he needed that Nexus. I mean, he's got to have it, otherwise he's going to go down. And there's his fifth Nexus over in the corner there. So TheRock is going to be in the lead here, though, with that left side base, and unless Chalrenge can do something about it, and I don't doubt that he can. He's been so ballsy with these shuttles that I don't doubt that he can do a lot of things right now. He could switch to all kinds of things, and I would see it coming. And yeah, he's just pushing out with those shuttles now, as I was mentioning. We're going to have to see what he does here. But it's getting spotted by TheRock, and a whole bunch of Archons. No, not going to. Yeah, okay, now they're chasing after him. And I'm not sure if those shuttles are going to be able to do anything. If he does do something with them, I'm going to be really surprised because TheRock is just keeping a watchful eye on them. And I'm curious to see where he's going to go with these. It looks like he wanted to take out the island base. Okay, just dropping a Zealot there. It looks like he wanted to take out the island base, but kind of shocked to see that there's actually nothing there. TheRock just decided not to take it, but I'm sure eventually he will anyways, especially with the amount of time we have left here. And TheRock coming in with a drop of his own, a single drop ship versus the triple drop ship on the other side. And there's the drop. He's dropping. He's almost like doom dropping like a Zerg player would on. Oh, and oh my God. Just a disgust. Just a nasty storm. And he's focus firing this Nexus. He's obsessed with focus firing Nexus. And look, he's doing it on two sides, or he's doing it on this side. And TheRock is responding by focus firing the other Nexus on the other side. And a Templar just ominously staring down those probes. And yeah, he has. What the hell did he just storm there? What did he just storm an observer? I have no idea. But both these drops are getting eliminated, and it looks like Chalrenge, his drop actually did a lot more damage than, obviously, I mean, there was 3 drop shuttles, but he did a lot more damage than TheRock did with his 1 drop ship and taking out, I think, just a couple probes and a Zealot. Oh, no! Oh, my God! Just disgusting storms there. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, I don't even know how to call this right now. TheRock slammed all those probes in the bottom right, but Chalrenge came back and took down a Nexus and a whole bunch more probes of his own. So pretty much this is coming down to High Templars because the armies are not able to engage anywhere. They're just going to get shut down by cannons at the tops of ramps, you know, on islands and all kinds of things. So this is coming down to just a lot of high Templar play, and pretty much I think switching to big air at this point wouldn't be too bad of an idea. Some kind of mass stasis on arbiters, and storming from the low ground. Oh, that is Chalrenge for you. Obviously not killing anything, but definitely weakening. Oh, wow. That is what the hell? Those freaking Templar are on steroids or some kind of mana juice or something. They just stormed like 18 times. And another drop coming in here. Suicide drop. How many pros is it going to kill? None. That was a bit of a fail. But, yeah, so what it's coming down to is just who can just secure the bases and just pretty much save up the minerals, because once you get a base, you're pretty much locked down. I haven't seen this map before, but that's what it's looking like. And a Stargate coming down, so it could be a switch to air, and I think that would definitely be a good call at this point. And another storm drop. Oh, no. I feel bad for probes in this game. If I was a probe, I would be like, no. I would rather play against, like, Flash or something like that, or play some kind of cat and mouse and just run from an Ultralisk all day, because this is just ruthless carnage from these high Templars. Take it away, though.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a ridiculously back and forth probage game. I can't believe how many probes that we've been seeing killed here. And you're right. I mean, this definitely is some Dr. Manhattan action on TheRock's part. He's got so many freaking Archons. Thank God, though, they don't show his blue wiener all the time. How freaking pointless was that, by the way? And look at this. Chalrenge actually getting some Archons of his own, trying to even up the score a little bit, which might be good. Now, the one thing we haven't really talked much about is upgrades, and now I'm seeing that it looked like Chalrenge actually had +2 weapons, +2 armor, and I'm very curious as to what TheRock has as his upgrade, so I'll have to keep an eye on it next time they click on a unit. Come on, they're all right there, just click on one. And there are the Arbiters, and certainly Arbiters is going to be the name of the game as we get into the later and later game. And wow, look at this. Chalrenge actually being a little ballsy over here, as to be expected because he's Chalrenge. He's actually going for the top middle island as well, but no, Arbiters and Shuttles coming in to take this out with 4 Archons of his own, and the Arbiters is going to make it very difficult for Chalrenge to fight this if he can't see them, and he can't because he's not a Terran player and he's got no scan. And now that his observer finally does get there in time, it's not going to see anything except for the depths of his Archons as they get destroyed by cloaked Archons. So unfortunately for Chalrenge, he's not going to be able to get that base up, and TheRock may be able to support that instead and secure it. At the same time, he's got that both the middle right and it looks like he's going to re-secure the middle left, and at this point, he's got 2/3 of the map if he does manage to get those 2 up. There they click on the forges again. I forgot to look at what the units were. He's clicking on a cannon. Why is he clicking on a cannon? And wow, storm drop on Archons. Not the most effective thing that I've seen today, but I guess a viable tactic if you just want to weaken them up a little bit. Unfortunately for him, that's not going to do very much. So Chalrenge looks like he's starting to slowly run out of options here. He's got a Arbiter Tributo of his own, and oh no, a Dark Archon. The DA himself is in the house. A red king amongst white blobs. He's going to definitely do something crazy. I don't know if it's going to be feedback on those Arbiters or if he's going to try to mind control something, which would be awesome. There's another Dark Archon there. So really, I wish I could get into Chalrenge's head right now and just get a glimpse of what it is he's thinking of doing. But I guess that we'll just have to wait and see because, you know what? I like surprises anyway, so let's let them surprise us. Again, I got to say, look at the map control. It's very, very well divided at this point with most of Chalrenge's base not doing much. And oh, a Templar land, but great evasive maneuvers by those probes, able to get back and forth, confusing the Templar, making TheRock waste a storm, a very valuable storm. Well, not really that valuable considering relative to a regular game, it's not very valuable. And look at Chalrenge. He's obviously having a great time here. He's smiling, and oh, more storm drops. That's why he's having a great time, even though there were his probes getting killed this time again by TheRock storm drops. And now TheRock, I gotta say, I feel like he's got all these units and he hasn't done much of anything with them. He's got to be a little bit more forceful in taking this. I think that he's had the advantage a couple of times here, and he's got these arbiters. If he could pull off a recall, if he didn't have all his troops across the entire map spread out in small clumps of 8 to 10 units, he could definitely do a massive double, triple, whatever recall. He's got 4 arbiters on the field, maybe more, and map control, and certainly the economy to back up anything that he loses. So I'm surprised that we haven't seen a massive recall drop, which would be pretty baller for sure. But TheRock, again, he's a douche, so that's not going to happen anytime soon anyway. And again, we're seeing that Archon blob from both players. Both players content with sitting in their bases right now, trying to set up. Oh, more storm drops, this time on TheRock again from Chalrenge. This is ridiculous how back and forth it's been with these storm drops, and a storm on the Templar to take him out just for the win, I guess. So Chalrenge, definitely, he's got to do something. He can't just sit in his base all game like he is doing now. He's only got 2 bases that are able to mine, and they're going to get mined out shortly unless he does something about it. And here we see, this is going to be the recalls. 1 recall, 2 recalls into the base of Chalrenge. Chalrenge trying to defend this with Storm. A lot of Archons in there. He's got a lot of cannons as well, which is going to aid with vision of these cloaked units. There is the Dark Archon. Where's the feedback, man? Where's the mind control? Stasis going off. His feedback's not going to work at this point because they used all of their energy, and so Chalrenge is definitely in a lot of trouble here. This is the heart of his base. He's got all of his producing units and his tech buildings all in one place that are getting taken out by these Archons and slowly by Dragoons, and I guess even a little bit by the Arbiters as well, and he's having trouble defending this. Nexus has gone down, and slowly his stasis units are just waiting to get out of their ice prison to try to help defend his base, and DT's coming out. There are no observers out for TheRock. This is the one thing going in Chalrenge's favor. Definitely a big oversight on TheRock's part. This is going to go down just from a couple of DTs alone, so it looks like Chalrenge is going to be able to fight this off, but man, he is in trouble either way. TheRock has commanded this game, and he's going to have to do something ridiculous to get back in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think these storm drops are going to do it, though. I think he needs to take out this force, and he needs to take out some buildings. He needs to go and get into the main of TheRock himself, and there's a lot of DTs out there. He built a whole bunch of DTs just to defend. I'm actually curious, though, to see what he's going to do with them afterwards. More dropships moving around. I don't even have to commentate on how many dropships are moving around. You can just always assume that there's a dropship, and that one gets taken down, though, so not very effective there. And there's 4 Arbiters out in the field, and it's Arbiters versus shuttles, and I think actually Chalrenge is not even close to getting Arbiters up, so it's going to be a while for him to come back. Yeah, he's actually got to reestablish his archive, so that's going to set him back even farther if he decides to go for Arbiters. Who knows? He could very well just go for mass Dark Archons and just completely own with mind control. But wow, surrounding some forces here. Probably not going to get any kills, but going to do some heavy damage. That's pretty much all he's been doing this match, though. He's been storming units, he's been DTing units, he's been losing 2 there, but he's just been damaging them. And what is there we go, there's the observer. I was going to say, what is he doing walking back into those DTs? Just not a good idea there. That's like Indiana Jones running back into the boulder. Just not a good idea. But Dark Archons are up, so there has to be something happening with them. Something has to go down because another one is coming up, so it has to happen. I would assume that he's going to use them to take over some Arbiters, or if he sends in maybe a dropship or something like that. I know I've seen that done, and that's very effective, but I think taking over the Arbiters would actually be a much better call. And just send them back and recall back into TheRock's base here, because setting up a third Templar archives is Chalrenge, so I'm assuming he's lost. I don't think that's a very tactical maneuver, but we're going to see another recall here, and a recall of shuttles and all kinds of other ugly things just into the back of Chalrenge's base here, and this is going to cut off his production here. All those gateways are unpowered, but all the forces of Chalrenge are in his bottom right base. I think he actually didn't mind sacrificing his main base at this point, because I don't know, like none of his forces are there, so he didn't want to defend. But anyways, the entire map, the entire 3/4 of the map now belongs to TheRock, And I'm not sure how he's going to use that to his advantage. I mean, Mineral, he's just going to have to be able to break into this this ball. I think what Chalrenge is going to look for here is either some kind of massive, just uber move where he just gets, gets into TheRock's base and does something, but or he's just gonna look for a draw, I guess. I mean, he looks just pretty hunkered down right now, and he's just gonna hold there. Excuse me again. He's just gonna hold there and pray for the best, I would imagine. I mean, it doesn't look like he can do anything at this point, and it looks like I just saw some cloaked archons there. Yeah, it looks like an arbiter is up. I haven't seen the there we go. Arbiter is there, so who knows? I mean, he could just very well just build cannons all the way around his base and just stasis anything that wants to come up the ramp and mind control anything that comes into his base. I mean, I don't think he has very many other options. Yeah, he's just clogging up with pylons and cannons and just so if a recall comes in there, only like 10% of the recalled units are actually going to get in there, and then they're just going to get slapped around by cannons. So I don't think this match is looking very good in the favor of Chalrenge winning. So I think what the rest of this match is going to be is just defense, 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 and TheRock just throwing like Sauron Protoss on Protossing here against Chalrenge. I mean, there's nothing really else that Chalrenge can do.
I'm